parents are both pilots who were effectively terminated from their airline jobs because they asked for reasonable accommodations based on their faith against the CEO's vaccine mandates. While our lives have been turned upside down, and I do not even know if I will be able to afford college, I know it's all worth it, as I watch their company attempt to destroy our lives. I know my mom is fighting to ensure that I have never have to make the choice she is facing, her career or God. Her company has decided to ostracize my mother, my father, and 2,000 of her coworkers. This holiday season, I hope each of you will take a moment to consider our plight. Some of us are not sitting cozily around the fireplace. We are taking a stand for justice and for our God. Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
Yeah, my wife loves this career. She loves flying, everything about it. But recently we've been plagued with a dark cloud this season, at the hands of a single man, Scott Kirby, United Airlines CEO. And it's unbelievable to me that the loyalty that my wife has shown in flying passengers for so long as a consummate safety professional is being rewarded with termination without pay, benefits, or a future after 32 and a half years at United Airlines.
My Papa Mick, thank you for standing up for our rights.
My husband is a pilot with a major airline in the United States, but before I get into that, I want you to know who he is. He proudly served as an aviator in the military for 24 years. He deployed on dozens of tours, and by the grace of God, his missions were successful. He risked his life for your freedom, and make no mistake, his love for our country. This major airline has taken his pride and his identity and crushed it single-handedly within hours because he wants to follow his Christian faith, the very faith which he fought for and was willing to pay the ultimate price to defend. The same rights and freedoms that this company's CEO and his family benefit from. Is this how you repay our veterans? By placing them on an indefinite, unpaid leave of absence with zero benefits? Let's just say effectively terminated. Is that their definition of a reasonable accommodation? So many families are suffering from the CEO's decision, thousands of families. While our children are grown, we continue to support our elderly mother, who now calls us crying almost daily about her son's status. Is this how we treat members of the family at your corporation? No other commercial airline companies are doing this. So is this really about safety?
My name is Jay Ann. I was a flight attendant for 24 years. Is due to being forced to retire under duress or risk losing everything. Taking an injection of which contents are an objection to my faith, conscience, and beliefs, or being completely separated from the company. That is a reasonable accommodation.
Our dad is a pilot and is basically being fired for his beliefs. His company has mandated the shot and forced him to decide between God and his job. Choosing to obey God has resulted in him no longer being paid. We are thankful he is standing up so that one day we might not have to.
My husband is on unpaid leave from a major airline because he doesn't want to go against his faith. The airline pool all pay and benefits has a reasonable accommodation. How that can be a reasonable accommodation when it's affecting our lives?
My wife is a flight attendant with 22 years serving for a major airline and is facing termination due to the airline's policy for vaccination to all its employees. We've been faced with unnecessary hardships, including loss of insurance, retirement, and our savings while going through the process, as well as overall anxiety of what lays ahead. Not only are our futures at risk, but so is our freedom as Americans. Please support this cause. Thank you.
Additionally, this has delayed and or ruined my plans to be able to fly as my father's co-pilot before he inevitably retires. This dream I now feel has been crushed.
We hope that you keep our family and the 2,000 other families facing this in your thoughts and prayers during this holiday season. Have a Merry Christmas.
My name is Pam. My husband was a pilot at a major commercial airline. The indefinite unpaid leave the company has decided is neither fair or reasonable. My husband wants to continue flying. He's a good pilot. He is capable of flying, has flown all through the pandemic, loves his job, but the company is not allowing him to work. This is causing a lot of stress for our family, our financial well-being, uncertain what the future is going to hold for us, how that's going to impact life going forward. And Christmas being right around the corner, I fear that we're going to have to change some of our family traditions and our level of generosity in the community, for sure. Thank you for listening. Merry Christmas.
Sitting here listening to the planes fly over my house, I dream of a day when I can go back to my job as a flight attendant. I'm ready to go and fly to friendly skies, but with the United vaccine mandate, I'm grounded from the job I loved for 23 years. No jab, no job.
The Christmas tree is buried and the house is quiet, not a creature is stirring. The Grinch stole the Christmas spirit by taking away my mommy's income.
The Grinch also stole hopes and dreams, telling a 12-year-old avid baseball player he could not play spring ball because you no longer could afford it, or telling your child he could not get sick or injured because we no longer could afford medical insurance. Dreams are shattered, all because of the Grinch. Fearing of the unknown of our future, looking for hope, fighting for our medical and religious freedom. No mandate, my choice. As an immigrant, America is where dreams come true. Let freedom ring and let our voice be heard.
What it means for our dad to not have a job is heartbreaking. 1, we wouldn't be able to go to the school we went to. 2, we wouldn't get Christmas presents. And 3, we wouldn't have a house. And we wouldn't want that. And that's not what God wants. He wants us to be happy and live where we are. And no one wants to get vaccinated because they want it. Do you want to get sick? No. So let's say a prayer and pray that we can not get vaccinated. Dear God, thank you for this wonderful. Thank you that we can have a school that we go to. Thank you that we have Christmas presents. And I pray that everybody who got vaccinated is okay. And I pray that my dad gets his job back. Amen.
My name is Kevin. My wife and I and our 6 kids usually go into the holidays in good mood. Christmas and New Year's is a good time for us. This year's going to be tough. My wife is on an indefinite unpaid leave as an accommodation for not being able to take the shots based on her faith. So we have 3 kids in college, 1 in high school getting ready to go to college who was accepted to college overseas, and now we're not sure what's going to happen. If everybody's going to be able to go back to school, if the high schoolers going to get to go to college in the fall, and if we're going to be able to pay our bills. So that's a tremendous amount of stress. But I think more than anything else, we're all concerned about the loss of our freedoms and our autonomy, and whether or not a corporation can mandate a medical procedure in order for you to maintain your occupation.
All I want for Christmas is my mommy and daddy to be happy.
Hello, my name is Amber, and I would have been with United for 20 years come this February. I worked all the way through the pandemic, got COVID, have natural immunities. I filed for both a religious and a medical accommodation and was denied. We were told we couldn't even eat in the same break room with our co-workers, and then I was terminated. It's been almost a month, no unemployment because United has chose to not respond to the requests. I live in an RV. I was going to buy a house. Now I can't even get an apartment because I don't have a job. I got a root canal. I can't even get fitted for a crown because I don't have any health insurance. I have elderly parents in Alaska. I usually visit often. I cannot now. I don't have travel benefits. They usually come here for the couple weeks in the winter, and for the holidays they can't come. No travel benefits. My daughter's getting married in this next year. I'm supposed to be helping financially. Winter is coming, Christmas is coming, and I hope that someone holds United accountable for the wrongs they have done.
My name is Colin, and up until recently, my dad was a pilot for a major airline company. He's been placed on unpaid absence because of physical and religious limitations regarding the COVID vaccines and drugs. This unpaid leave is causing us many hardships throughout this Christmas season because we can't give back to our community and our family as much as we have during this season. And also, with his being unpaid, it may cause us to have to switch schools because we cannot afford tuition for education.
Hi, I'm a Christmas tree, as you can see, and I was super excited to be chosen by this family to come to their house to help celebrate Christmas. It is my life's mission, after all, to be the focal point in a Christmas celebration and festivities. I didn't mind that I was the smallest tree on the lot, the scraggliest tree. I didn't mind because this family picked me. I was so excited. And then I came to their house and I realized it was not a happy place. They seemed like nice people, but they weren't happy. And so then I started to feel sad. And they decorated me. And they wanted to put their special angel on the top of me. This is their angel right here that's been on top of the tree for I don't know how long, 25 years, 30, who knows. But the angel, their beautiful angel, was too heavy for me, and I couldn't bear it at the top. That's okay though. They put other angels up there, and a little nativity scene. And those other angels, the little silver angels, they came from the mom's mom, so I guess the grandma. And a sad story on that, more sad stories, the mom's mom was dying the day before Thanksgiving. And the mom contacted her flight office at work and asked for help. Can you please help me go home to see my dying mom? But they wouldn't. They said they couldn't. They couldn't do that for her, even though she'd worked there for 27 years. So the dad stayed here. He was really sad, and the mom went home to see her mom. And luckily, all her friends were praying for the mom. And the mom is still alive, which is fantastic. And that is the power of God, and the power of hope, and the power of prayer. So once my people realized that, they too had hope. They knew it didn't matter. Nothing mattered. What their company did to them, what their company took from them, didn't matter. They had family. They had pets. They had God. And without God, nothing is worthwhile. And with God, anything is possible. So, I'm here to tell you, as the family Christmas tree, I am super stoked to be here. And this is going to be the happiest house in the neighborhood by the time I'm finished with this family. Thanks for listening. Merry Christmas, and God bless.
Hello, my name is Pablo. I worked 16 years as a customer service representative for United Airlines. I was recently terminated because United Airlines decided not to approve my religious accommodation. They have basically destroyed my livelihood in the middle of the Christmas season, all because they think I am a hazard at the workplace. Other people have been approved their religious exceptions, but they chose not to give it to me, and they have terminated me with no reason.
My husband flies for a major commercial airline as a 777 captain and LCA. He's performed other special projects, several, and special assignments as well. He's helped to train and mentor many pilots in this carrier. He's been a faithful, loyal, and dedicated employee with 35 years with this company. He loves this company and his job, despite his faithfulness and loyalty to this company, his love for this company. They have chosen to place him on unpaid leave of absence. Why? Because he chose not to receive the jab, the injection, the vaccine, as they want to call it, which was forced and coerced by this company on him. Either take the jab or lose your job and everything that goes with it.
1 minute.
No jab, no job. Lost his career, income, benefits, retirement, medical, dental, airline travel, and on top of that gets no respect, no dignity, no recognition of all that he's done for this company, no appreciation for his safety. 29,000 plus hours down the tubes for this company. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. We don't deserve this. No friendly skies. Nothing to show for this. Shame on you.
My wife, Rhonda, 38 plus year loyal employee of a major airline, has gone from hero to leper. In May, her crew went to Tel Aviv to pick up coworkers and other Americans who were trapped there during the Gaza Strip bombings. They were the only USA flight that day that risked their lives for other Americans. Now she is a leper, an outcast, for not getting the vaccine for religious and doctor-recommended reasons. She has now been stripped of the ability to earn an income and provide health care for our family in the midst of the pandemic. We are under duress trying to find affordable family health care and income that we were expecting. We're in a lot of pain.
Hello, our father is an airline pilot who has been effectively terminated from his job for requesting faith-based reasonable accommodations in response to the CEO's inflexible and destructive vaccine mandate. The indefinite unpaid leave has thrown our family into chaos and uncertainty. Our father was forced to sell our childhood home where my parents raised us and our 4 other siblings and relocate in order to make ends meet. We also have 2 siblings with severe medical conditions, and the loss of our father's income and all benefits has left them vulnerable and at risk. The emotional impact that this mandate has on our family is immeasurable. Due to our parents relocating, along with the loss of benefits, this year will be the first year ever that we will not be able to spend Christmas together as a family.
Other major airlines have stood behind their employees while working to provide reasonable accommodations. However, our father's airline and their CEO continue to insist upon destroying the careers, families, and futures of over 2,000 loyal employees.
Through this challenging time, we continue to find strength through our faith and will fight for the rights that America was founded upon. We hope you will take a moment to consider the true ramification of these discriminatory mandates. Thank you, God bless, and Merry Christmas.
My name is Dana. My husband has been placed on involuntary unpaid leave by a major airline in punishment for his religious beliefs. This holiday season, we will not be spending time celebrating with family and friends. This holiday season, we'll be spending time we can never get back, defending our future, the future of our children, our freedom, our health, our savings, and the future of our country. We need help. Happy holidays, and thank you.
My name is Matthias, and my dad is a pilot for a large international airline. Before him was my grandpa and my great-grandpa too, and one day I hope to become a pilot. The problem is, my dad is being punished for his religious beliefs. He's been placed on indefinite unpaid leave, and he's not able to fly. It's not a reasonable accommodation, and it's all because he's standing up for what he believes in. He's trying to show me and my 3 siblings that you can do that you have the right to stand up for your beliefs.
My husband is a pilot for a major airline who obtained a valid religious exemption for the COVID vaccine. His airline's reasonable accommodation has been to impose an involuntary, unpaid leave of absence of undetermined length that could last weeks or years. This effectively renders him unemployed, yet constrains his ability to work in the seniority-dependent aviation industry. His career has been halted literally in the process of upgrading to captain after 13 years. The financial hardship is both immediate and far-reaching in terms of providing for our family and the diminishing of his earning potential. We are enduring mental anguish over maintaining treatments for chronic medical issues, funding current college education, and the overall future. The law requires a company to provide reasonable accommodations for him to perform his job, but this situation is the exact opposite of reasonable. It's unjustified, unethical, and wrong.
Hello, my name is Eriko. This is our daughter Melissa, and this is Mimi. My husband Steve has been a flight attendant for almost 25 years. The absurd and unreasonable accommodations are threatening the ideal situation for our daughter to help me as a stay-at-home mom. I cannot believe any of this. Loyal and hardworking employees should not be treated like how my husband has been treated. Questions about being able to pay for healthcare, food, and shelter on our minds produce great stress and anxiety. Steve will often go hours and hours without smiling, but I want to see him happy again. Thank you.
My husband's 35-year career as an airline captain at a major airline came to a close in November of this year when the reasonable accommodation that he was awarded for a religious exemption against the vaccine mandate was 6 years unpaid leave. This Thanksgiving, our 4 children came to visit, and 3 of them announced that they'll be having babies in the new year. I went to the store to buy some yarn to make some blankets and put it back because it wasn't on sale. It's not about the yarn, but it's about our mortgage, it's about our car payments, and it's about our bills, it's about the uncertain future. The future that he's fighting for is the future of those babies, those children not to have to make the choice that he's made. Jab or a job, to make a living or to go against your religious beliefs. He's fighting for them, and he's fighting for all of the children in the future. And I'm very proud of him for the decision that he's made.
Ms. Cooper, I'm a senior in high school and I plan on going to college next year. Recently, my dad, who is a captain for United Airlines, has been put on unpaid leave by the airlines because of our religious beliefs. This has been a very stressful time for me and my family. And I also have a major surgery coming up on December 8th, which is adding to all the stress. And without my dad's income coming in or his insurance benefits, this has made everything way more stressful. We recently had to get insurance through the company, which is costing us a little over $3,000 a month. And it's just not ideal with that income not coming in right now. So all I'm asking with this video is that you guys would keep me and my family in our prayers and the 2,000 plus other employees that are going through the same thing right now at the airlines. Thank you.
Hello, my husband has worked for a commercial airline for over 26 years. Now he's being discriminated against. Due to his religious beliefs, he's unable to take the COVID vaccine. Now he's been placed on unpaid leave, no income, no benefits, and we have no health insurance.
I'm a senior in high school, and because of this decision by the CEO, I'm worried about paying for college next year.
I may have to switch high schools because we have no income. Our dog has a skin condition and we have to push back taking her to the vet because we can't afford it. And I'm really anxious about all of this and I have a hard time sleeping through the night.
It's Christmas. We wish you a very Merry Christmas. Please pray for us.
I am a former flight attendant who was forced into retirement. My company turned on me and my beliefs. I caved in and went into retirement even though I wasn't ready. My sister followed me into our profession. Now I have to witness her marriage falling apart, witness her kids struggling, watch as her courage dwindles due to a company that is harassing, bullying, and coercing her into not honoring her lawful beliefs.
Hi, my husband is a pilot for a major commercial airline with 25,000 hours of flight time. The company that he's working with has not allowed him to fly since September because he has chosen to not get vaccinated, and they've put him on an unpaid leave. Some of the things that I feel like I'm dealing with as a wife that is hard has just been how unfair this all seems and so not right. He's been a loyal employee for over 32 years with the company. He will not be able to finish out his career there at the place that he loves to work. He won't get his retirement flight and all that goes with it. He's been faithful to them, and yet that has not been reciprocated back since they put him on unpaid leave. Some of the things that I deal with daily is just knowing that we do not have an income right now. There's no insurance. It just all brings such uncertainty and stress in the family. I've seen so much stress over my husband that is very uncharacteristic of him, and that just brings such a heavy weight into our home. One of the other things that has been really hard for me is the travel benefits are taken away. We have children and grandchildren out of state that are quite a ways from us, and it's made it nearly impossible right now with no income to even buy an airline ticket to try to get to them or to see them. So that's really affected me as a wife too, and grandma. As hard as this has all been, we try to continue to remind ourselves that Jesus is our hope. He is the reason that we can even have joy, especially this Christmas season. So we try to keep our heads up in that way, but it's been hard. So we just wish everybody a Merry Christmas this holiday season, and don't ever take for granted what you have.
Recently, United Airlines has decided to place my mom, as well as 2,000 other employees, on unpaid leave indefinitely due to their religious beliefs against the vaccine mandate. These last couple of years have been very difficult, as last year we lost my father unexpectedly, and now my mom is the primary provider for our family. This time of the year should be a joyous and happy occasion, and instead, my mom is stressed trying to figure out a way to make ends meet. I ask you for this Christmas to think of my family as well as the 2,000 others that are fighting for our religious freedoms. Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
Early Merry Christmas to everyone out there, especially our group of 2,000 that are caught in this situation. Once the mandate was applied to the employees who were placed upon a personal leave of absence, as they're calling it, unpaid, it was basically a default position that none of us sought. We have been unable to pay our bills. Our income has gone to zero. Our expenses for medical, dental, all of our life insurance that was previously carried by the company has now gone to over $3,000 per month. So zero income, increase of $3,000 plus. We are unable to sustain much longer just on our personal savings. Those have been wiped out. And now we try and retreat to a 401k loan. That is impossible to get because we are kept in an active status, basically a catch-22. That also applies to unemployment insurance. You're unable to file or receive even the minimal benefit from the unemployment because we're kept in an active yet unpaid status, another catch-22. Not only will this pain just be felt by our family of 5, we have two daughters in college that are going to be recalled and have to come back and somehow help us to make ends meet. But this pain is also going to be spread out to everyone associated with us. It has nothing to do with United. Our landlord will not be able to receive any kind of income for his family until we go further into debt and are late in our payments, and then we will only then be able to try and file for a hardship withdrawal from either of our retirement plans. Never expected at this age. Our daughters also, as they're in college, they are going to have that ended. It's an uncertain future, possibly more of a withdrawal from hardship withdrawal under the retirement plan. It's uncertain whether we can get that. In the meantime, we have to look for any employment at the last moment just to stem this bleeding that's going on financially. All of this is a result of this mandate that was placed upon us when all we were seeking was a reasonable accommodation as allowed by the law. Mr. Kirby, we ask that you reconsider and show some compassion like all other airline CEOs out there who are not treating their employees in this manner, and their airlines are doing just fine without this. If you can achieve 99.7%, that's all we need. Let us come back to work. We will certainly sit down and discuss and come up with a solution that will bring everyone back to work. Grinch is out the side there in the back window. If that's really who you've decided to become, then see that story all the way through. Remember the story of how he had his heart grow back and it was not all evil. We believe that to be true of you as well. Show some compassion. Don't just use bulletin points and slogans of trust, compassion, and not being a bully. And I will actually stand up to those things and be a decent person. God bless everyone out there. Stay strong. Hope for a more prosperous 2022. Bye.
My wife, 37-year flight attendant for United Airlines. Someone that absolutely loves her job more than anything. In the last 6 months, hasn't been able to sleep. Can't figure out why the company has made decisions of putting people on a leave of absence with no accommodations, period. Everything we've worked for our whole lives. We have a beautiful lake house, you can see, which is possibly we might be selling. But the most important thing is that we're of the age of where you need things that are very, very important in life, which is medical, taking care of your elderly parents, and all be taken away from you, all by this decision made by the executives of United to not accommodate any of the employees that are asking. Just accommodate us with something that will help us keep our jobs we love, and with no avail fighting every inch to not accommodate. Very sad, and I hope everything works out for everyone involved, company and my wife, again, which she loves her job very much, but seems that other agendas have been decided, and not sure how the outcome's going to be.
My name is Stephanie, and my husband is a pilot. His employer's callous, heartless, and illegal actions have created the biggest challenge in our 35 years together. That is not reasonable. It is unconscionable and disgraceful that my husband's loyalty, dedicating his entire 38-year career to a single employer, is rewarded with a scarlet letter and an exit ultimatum. That is not reasonable. They have forced him to choose between violating our faith and his career and our livelihood. That is not reasonable. This debacle has stolen precious time from us that cannot be recovered. It has robbed us of security and peace of mind. I have suffered from depression and felt paralyzed. I am fearful for our future. The anxiety, hopelessness, and apprehension has sucked all the joy out of what should be a happy holiday season. That certainly is not reasonable.
Hi, my name's Amy. My husband Steve is a pilot for a major airline. His father was also a pilot for a major airline, as was his grandfather, so my husband likes to joke that he's jet fuel in his blood. Piloting is part of how he identifies himself, but unfortunately, in recent months, that has been robbed from him. He spent years in training and education to work towards this point in his seniority. He's always been an exemplary employee, and were at a merit-based position, he would be at the top. He's suddenly left feeling disposable. We've tried to shelter our children from feeling the weight and uncertainty of these circumstances imposed upon us. I feel like Steve was more available when he traveled, because now all of his time is consumed on the phone, on the computer, trying to figure out insurance. How are we going to pay for insurance? How are we paying our bills? Without his income, and he's losing sleep and wondering why. And I know why. It's because he feels inconsequential. We're both left up at night wondering how being put on unpaid leave and suddenly being left without insurance could possibly be considered a reasonable accommodation.
Hi, my mom has been a flight attendant for 37 years, and she got pushed out of her job because our faith against the vaccine. And that means to me and my sister that we can no longer go on vacations, we no longer have the health benefits that they have provided us, which means very, very large hospital bills for things like hypothyroidism that I have, my ADHD medication, and it has overall wreaked havoc on our family.
My parents have been flight attendants for a combined 50 years. The mandate has caused an incredible mental and emotional strain on our family. My mother has been holding the line while my father was forced to take the vaccine due to a threat of no financial support. They love their jobs, and we believe in the sanctity of our bodies.
My husband is a 25-year veteran airline pilot whose CEO has placed him on mandatory unpaid personal leave with the loss of all benefits because of his love for his God and his conviction against taking the COVID vaccine. This Christmas, we are without an income, which has led to stress and uncertainty about our future. We are no longer able to pay for our children's college and even have concerns about losing our home. Our son just completed flight school and had aspired to be a generational employee with this company we had all grown to love. Now there's uncertainty for him about a company that does not honor valid medical and religious exemptions. Not only a loyal airline employee, my husband has served this country for over 21 years in the Marine Corps. Our son currently still serves. Freedoms are not free. Will you please join me this Christmas in prayer? We must fight these unconstitutional accommodations everywhere before they are at everyone's door.
Okay, my wife's a flight attendant, and she just was put on indefinite unpaid leave for God knows how long. And as of last January, when I retired and everything for health reasons, that's all going to change now because I'm going to probably have to go back to work. So that is a hardship for us. And I just want to say she's been a devoted employee for 32 years, and something's wrong with this whole picture. Thank you, and God bless and Merry Christmas.
The last few months have been extremely challenging for my family, as my husband has essentially lost his job, his income, because of our faith, and we don't think that's okay. And we need an income to provide for our kids, and we've been having to tell them, like, oh, we can't go do that, or you can't have that a lot because we have to save our money, and trying to help them understand why we can't do the things we used to do. Also, just watching my husband for the last few months as he thinks about how he's going to provide for our family, I've been taking on his stress a lot. I've started having lots of jaw issues, started grinding my teeth at night, which I never did before. I've also had my own health scare come up where I have a surgery I need to go through in order to find out if I have cancer. And not having an income and having the stress of this job situation on top of my health concern has been extremely challenging. And we're just trying to trust God and take it one day at a time, but it would sure be nice if my husband could have his job back.
My name is Kelly Kessman. I'm the sister of Chris, who's a flight attendant for a major U.S. airlines. Chris has served the airlines for over 30 years now and has recently been placed on unpaid leave. This is due to the airlines mandating the vaccine shot. Chris will not be taking the vaccine shot due to this goes against her very strong religious beliefs. How a major U.S. airlines or any company in the United States of America can take away these constitutional rights and place these pilots and flight attendants on unpaid leave is an atrocity. And then this company claims this to be reasonable accommodations. Even prior to this unpaid leave, my sister was consistently harassed and discriminated against by this HR department of this major U.S. airlines. She was continually threatened to get vaccinated or she would be fired. This was occurring on a weekly to even daily basis. She was then even told to wear an N95 mask, which even can cause more harm to the body due to the lack of oxygen she was receiving when up in flight. There were even flight attendants passing out, and still this major U.S. airlines never even acknowledged the issues these flight attendants were experiencing. This unpaid leave has caused Chris an extreme amount of stress due to the inability to assist in supporting her family, her husband, and her 2 sons. I have never seen my sister this upset. It breaks my heart to see her in tears constantly. The unsurety and uncertainty she's experiencing and not even knowing what her future holds and what direction she should go to provide for her family. Her world has been turned upside down. She's constantly questioning how this can be happening in the United States of America, where we live in a democracy. This is not a communist country. How is she supposed to live right now, especially with the holidays upon us, not even knowing where her next paycheck will be coming from, or if she will even be getting another paycheck, and if her 30-year career will be taken away from her?
Hello, my name is Tanner Shutlawful. I'm currently a senior at Liberty University majoring in criminal justice with the hopes of going on to law school next year. My dad is a captain at United Airlines and has been in commercial aviation for the last 20 years. He has currently been placed on unpaid leave as he has made the personal choice to not get vaccinated. This has also removed all of his benefits, which has been stressful for my family as my brother is getting ready to go in for a major surgery next week. This has also been confusing as he has been fit to fly for the last 18 months during the COVID pandemic, and now all of a sudden is not because he has made the personal choice to not get vaccinated. This has been hard to watch as I've seen the toll it's taken on my dad and how he can't provide for our family, as he is our only source of income and there is currently no income coming in right now. Personally, this has been hard for me because I want to go to law school next year, and not that I've ever expected my parents to pay for my school, but having them as a safety net has been always reassuring and nice to know. We have faith that God will provide for us and that He will deliver us through this trial. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sal. This is my son Daniel, and this is my daughter Naomi. And my wife works for a major airline who instituted mandating vaccinations. Joe Biden gave us the pathway of a religious exemption, which we took. But since then, this airline has put my wife on leave with no benefits and no pay and no way to make a living. Judge, this is adversely affect our home income and of course our health. Please make this wrong a right, and God bless you.
My name is Kelly, and I'm speaking on behalf of my sister, a terminated commercial pilot. The financial toll on her and her family from this reasonable unpaid leave of absence is obvious. Potential home, benefit losses, and the loss of the benefit to prepare for their financial future. But the most profound effect on her has been emotional. The loss of a job she has loved for 32 years. I have never seen my sister in such despair. As stated, the financial fallout is a given, but the divisiveness that has occurred between family, friends, and co-workers from this reasonable accommodation has been heartbreaking. This so-called reasonable accommodation of an unpaid leave of absence, in my opinion, is criminal and immoral. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Cody, and my mother was a flight attendant for a major airline company until very recently when she was released due to unpaid leaving being considered reasonable. Unpaid leave is nowhere close to being reasonable. My family and I are experiencing a major financial drop in our budget these holidays as we've had to cut many things out of a budget that we usually do annually because we don't have enough money to pay for it. I see my mother struggling mentally, wishing she could provide more to our family, but the major commercial airline believes unpaid leave is more important than giving people the opportunity to provide for their very own family. I pray you take this message into consideration.
Hi, I'm Reagan, and I'm here with my mom, April, and my sisters, Sydney, Taylor, and McKinley. My dad is a pilot currently on unpaid leave because he is standing up for our religious freedoms. This Christmas, we cannot travel to see our family on the East Coast because we don't have travel benefits, nor the money to pay for airline tickets.
There are 2,000 other families in the same situation that aren't going to be able to see their families this year, and who knows if they're going to have more Christmases with some of their older family members. If you could please pray for us and those other employees, we would really appreciate it.
Merry Christmas!
Who has been a pilot for 30 years with United Airlines.
is now on unpaid leave.
As a nurse who recently went through the same process and was granted a religious accommodation, it's just not a fair or just accommodation, and it's really affecting people's lives.
So just really impacting not only like our family, but multiple other families. And as an individual that was brought over to this awesome country on a United flight, it's just almost like sickening that you're limiting his or everybody's ability to provide for their family.
I know my dad so well, and I know that this is a genuine spiritual conviction that he has. And right now we're sitting in the home that we've been raised in and have lived in for 25 years. And now that is even being threatened. Every other airline in the industry has granted these religious exemptions, and for United is essentially firing their pilots without firing them. It breaks my heart to see that there is genuine conviction that's not being.
Hi, my wife's name is Tracy. She received a religious accommodation, basically ending her career as an airline pilot. What's happened to her is wrong. She's my hero because she has gone against discrimination many times before, 35 years ago as a female pilot, breaking down barriers. Once again, she's standing up for what she believes is correct. It's a shame in this country that we have to go through this at this time. I'm gonna back my wife 100% until this is over. Thank you.
My husband is a pilot for a major airline. They've instilled a policy that is against our religious belief. He's being punished for this, forcibly put on unpaid leave of absence, 0 pay, no health care, no employee benefits, effectively terminated. We are suffering irreparable harm, and we ask for your support to fight for everyone's right for religious and medical freedoms. Thank you.
My wife and mother-in-law were effectively placed in an assignment that will eventually lead to their unpaid leave of absence. My wife and mother-in-law stress about how to provide for our families, whether it be through health care or to put food on our table. They are truly forced to decide what between their medical health or their career. Please consider their plight this holiday season. Merry Christmas.
Hi, my name's Chava. My husband is a pilot with a major airline, and since he's been placed on unpaid leave, this season looks very different. We aren't seeing family since we can't fly to go see them. They all live out of state. I can't send them anything through FedEx. We're not able to do gifts this year. We've had to cancel our insurance, so I've had to cancel my medical appointments, my standing appointments that I've had for well over a year. We've been trying to start a family, and the funds that were going to go to IVF, we're having to live on now. We've had to cancel any subscriptions that we've had. Yeah, this season's hard.
He is a pilot, and his company is mandating the vaccine. He is standing up for his belief in God, which has resulted in him effectively being terminated. As a homeschool mom to our 4 boys, this has caused extreme stress. Our lives have literally been turned upside down. Loss of income, health benefits, and travel privileges has made us make decisions we never should have to make, solely due to our religious beliefs. Our future is uncertain, and our hope is that he can get back to work soon.
As a mental health counselor, I can see how this has taken a toll on my mother's mental health. Not just emotionally and physically, but also financially. During the holiday season, whenever this time should be cheerful and exciting, unfortunately things are a little different this year for my family. My husband and I, along with our 3 children, all under the age of 8, are always driving at least 3 hours to check on my mother to ensure that she is coping well. I'm so grateful to see that her faith has not wavered. Though we may not understand what is going on around us, I am asking everyone to remain steadfast and continue to raise awareness. I know that things will look up for all of us. Thanks, and God bless.
I'm Jessie. My dad's a pilot for a major airline company, and now that he's like working, well, he's still an employee, but he's working without pay, and it's hard because I've noticed that he's like really stressed because now he's like home all the time, and like I can tell that like he's stressed, and like our options are kind of getting tighter and tighter because it's not like he can get another job for the time being. Like I feel like none of our options are really good right now, and it's not really like fair to put all this stress on like a family just for doing like what they believe in. So.
My name is Stephanie, and this is our family. My husband was a captain for a major U.S. airline for 25 years with an impeccable record until he was put on indefinite unpaid leave with no benefits for requesting a religious exemption. This is neither reasonable nor humane. My husband has worked very hard, and we have sacrificed much. Now, with only a few years left before mandatory retirement, our hopes and our dreams have been shattered. Since his job is seniority-based, finding similar employment with another airline is not feasible. We never expected to be treated this way, since he has been a loyal employee all these years. He dreamed of working for this company since he was a child, following his father's footsteps. We are now living under financial and emotional duress. He loves his job and can't imagine never flying again. Presently, he has taken a job that pays less a day than he made an hour.
My mom has been a flight attendant working for a major airline for almost 28 years now. Ever since the vaccine mandate has come out, she has been forced out of work because we do not believe in the COVID vaccine. She's been a single mother raising me and my sister, and ever since she was forced out of work, we've lost insurance and health benefits, and we're worried that we would lose important things like our home, which puts a lot of stress on our family. I really wish that people would not put rules on health things, and they would be more open to my body, my choice.
Hello, my grandma is a flight attendant. She was recently forced to make the decision to either get the shot and go against everything she believes in, or go on an unpaid leave from her dream job where she spent 15 years. I currently live with my grandma, and I've had to watch her struggle with her health and worry about if she can afford the medication she needs. It gives me anxiety just thinking about my grandma not being able to pay her bills and afford all of the doctor visits. She's worked diligently at this job and poured her heart into it. For them to let her go is very upsetting. This Christmas will be unlike any other Christmas we've ever had, all because my grandma upheld her faith. God bless.
My wife has been a flight attendant for nearly 30 years. Her and 2,000 of her co-workers that were given a religious exemption by their employer were not given accommodations for it. They were told no income, no health insurance, and questionable as to what your retirement will be. That doesn't sound like an accommodation to me. Recently, my wife was on a flight that they had to prepare the cabin for an emergency landing. They accommodated all the passengers as best that they could, try to comfort them and let them know that everything would be all right. In the professionalism from both the pilots and the crew, the flight landed safely. When the passengers were leaving the craft, they all thanked the crew to be where they were safely. Funny, not a single one of them asked if they were vaccinated. The stress that this has put the employees under, both personal and relationship, is beyond bear. Let's get these people back to work where they belong. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Ever since United announced its unconstitutional vaccine mandate, our family has been under huge amount of stress. Not only from fear of losing the primary source of income for the household, which my husband brings in, but also that we are expecting another life, another child soon. Due to this mandate, my husband is currently accepting much less overtime or additional hours in fear of any potential targeting against him because of his vaccine status. One slip up regarding the United unvaccinated policy, and he is on a termination warning. We cannot afford that. I'm unable to work any additional hours at my job, as this is just not available. And even if I could, I would be limited to what I could do while pregnant. My husband and I have received medical exemption from our doctors, whom we've been seeing for many years. Our holidays will not be like any other previous holidays due to financial situation, family stress, and future employment stress, which is already showing. We are uncertain how we will be spending the Christmas and New Year's during this holiday season, all because someone made a decision of what my husband should put in his body, regardless of what his doctor is saying. For what it's worth, Merry Christmas to all, even those who are causing our family stress, as they also need those blessings, and happy holidays.
Hi, my name is Ty. I'm a junior in college. Recently, my dad, who is a captain for United Airlines, has been put on unpaid leave by the airlines because of our religious beliefs. It has been a very stressful time for him and my family. Adding on to that, my little brother has a surgery coming up, and we are now paying over $3,000 a month in insurance with no money coming in. That being said, please pray for the families and the 2,000 plus other employees that are going through the same thing right now at the airlines. Thanks.
My name is James. I'm an airline pilot as well. My company had granted me a religious accommodation, and they have accommodated me, which allows me to still work. Thank God that they have, because Lindsay is out of work at United. United has failed to grant her a reasonable accommodation in the workplace. They pretty much just told her not to come back to work. So here I am, I'm on the road. I plan to make a video sharing my family with you, but the sad reality is I very rarely get to see my family anymore. I'll be on the road this month 23 days. That's 23 days, 24 hours a day, not 9 to 5. So, I can make up the money in the lost wages by working, but the sad reality is that the most harm that has come from our family from United's lack of accommodation is the fact that my children are home without their father.
Hi, my name is Lily, and I'm making this video on behalf of my mom, who is losing her job of 30 years. She is losing her job as a flight attendant for exercising her right to choose. She has chosen to exercise her right to religious and medical freedoms. Why should my mom have to forsake her health and beliefs in order to provide for her family?
Hi, I'm Carlene. My husband Ray has been an exemplary pilot for over 35 years. I am extremely proud of him and the decisions that he has had to make recently. He has worked very hard over the years to achieve a 6-figure salary, travel benefits that we used to show our kids the world, and health care to keep us all well. How have we been affected this holiday season by the treatment we are receiving from the airline for which my husband is supposed to be working? Well, it's not easy to adjust to $0 coming in, but I just want you to know, you can't ruin Christmas. Christmas isn't about you. But you can take a family that was very devoted to you and proud to be part of this industry and completely change their hearts. You are essentially no better than Scrooge, and that is all on you. The world now knows that you are driven by fear and that you care more about your image than your faithful, experienced, hardworking, trusted employees who have been the foundation of your success. You have become one of the most hated airlines in the world. and everyone knows you are now less safe and less kind. As for us, we would rather have empty pockets than empty hearts like yours.